Welcome to Muslim Apologetics Australia. The reason why I'm making this video is to highlight a previous video I produced a few weeks ago. I think it was actually just before Ramadan, where I was advising Muslims to be aware when you're actually engaging with ex-Muslims or critics of Islam or atheists or Christian critics of Islam. When you engage these individuals on a live debate, you need to understand that most of these critics don't know much about Islam. You know, all they do is Google search some information. They think they're scholars overnight about Islam. So what they want to do is, when they actually invite you to a live debate, their motive is to catch you off guard. And I constantly remind Muslims not to fall for this trap. What they do is they basically get ample topics to continuously discredit Islam and make all these points, and they don't want Muslims to be prepared for this. Now, I actually got an ex-Muslim to actually admit this fact. Pretty much the same lines. He's an ex-Muslim atheist by the name of Sultan. He goes by the name of Harry Sultan. I actually invited this individual to a debate. I actually disagree with having public debates, and I gave a list of reasons to why I think they're not really productive. They're good for promotional purposes, but to get to the bottom of things and truth, it's not the best. And I've did this video, and I've actually explained it to another ex-Muslim named Abdullah Samir. And Abdullah Samir at the start said, oh, Mustafa has some, maybe he's just had a really bad past experience. He doesn't want to engage in live debates. And I explained to Abdullah Samir that, no, it's not that I've ever had a past bad experience. I've actually seen other Muslims have bad experiences. Why? Because they haven't scheduled the debate format properly. Now, let me give you an example. If you engage in a live debate, you're going to have a limited time frame. And if the critic is going to throw you 100 different questions, then obviously things need further study and investigation. You can't turn around and say in the debate, hey, look, we need to pause it here right this moment. I need to go because you've obviously brought something that needs further investigation, and I need to go and get that source to bring it to you. And obviously, the atheist or the ex-Muslim knows that the Muslim is not going to have that information handy, so it's going to look like he's actually won the debate or that particular point in the debate. See, that's what I don't like giving my opponents. I will only engage in an actual debate if my opponent is prepared to give me the topics of discussion within the actual topic. Let me give you an example. I said to ex-Muslim atheist Harry Sultan, I made him a debate proposition. I said to him, look, I'm not going to come and do a live debate on YouTube where it's limited and our resources are limited, and we can't just pause and then go and do quick research and then come back to you. No one's going to wait for that. So I said to him, look, I'll meet you on a weekly basis live, and we can record it, but in the debate, we're allowed to say, look, I'll come back to you next week upon that same question because it requires further investigation, and I'll come back to you with a better equipped response. Now, ex-Muslim atheist Harry Sultan disagreed to that. He said, he made this excuse. Oh, he doesn't have time for it. And I said, okay, well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He doesn't have time for that. So I said to him, okay, look, then you pick, I basically said to him, look, okay, I'll agree to a public debate. public discussion, only because he's in my neck of the woods. He lives in Australia too, and the time zone is pretty relatively close. I mean, there's no time difference. We're basically in the same time zone. We could, set up an easy, a quick, efficient debate that's suitable for me and suitable for him. Now, what happened was I basically said to him, look, if you're not agreeing to a public discussion, but that public discussion is not limited, where we go back and forth from week to week on the same topic, I said to him, okay, then I'll meet you, because he invited me to YouTube. He said, look, we'll do a live discussion on YouTube. And watch this. I said to him, okay. He said, well, what's the topic? And I said to him, well, he's actually messaging me now. I said to him, well, what's the topic there? He said to me, what's the topic then? And I said, look, I will give it an open field day. You can bring any topic to the table that you want. And let's debate, and I'll be on the defensive. I said to him, let's debate whether Islam is a false religion. I mean, when I say Islam is a false religion, that's got topics within topics, within topics, within topics, within topics. You can bring up anything. You can bring up the Quran, you can bring up the Hadith, you can bring up allegations against Allah, you can bring up contradictions in the Quran, you can bring up scientific contradictions in the Quran, you can bring up errors against the Prophet Muhammad's behavior, you can bring up moral issues, you can bring up a whole bunch of things. You can even bring up, the topics of terrorism, whatever you want, right? I gave him this. I said to him, you can bring up any topic within the topic. But we'll just debate Islam. I basically said to him, we'll just debate Islam. But I said to him this, to be fair, at least tell me the topics that you'll be discussing so I can prepare for it. It's only fair that he'd give me the topics of discussion and I can prepare. Like if he wants to bring up moral issues about the Prophet, give me the specific ones that he has a problem with, then I could prepare for it. If he's got a certain contradiction within the Quran that he thinks it's a contradiction on a particular passage of the Quran, then give me that topic and I'll prepare for it. Whatever it is, I said to him, just jot it on points. Tell me the points that you'll be discussing so I can prepare for it. It is only fair. If you're going to bring up 20 or 30 or 40 points within the topic of Islam that has many, many different topics, then it is only fair that you reveal them to me so I can then prepare for it. So what did ex-Muslim atheist Harry Sultan do? Well, have a listen to what he said. He agrees, and I made the proposition to him. He responds back and says, well, it's a very broad topic, which means I can make plenty of points. Unfortunately, I don't think I can give you my points. Have a look. He says, he's given the opportunity to make as many points as possible on various topics, on as many topics as he wants. But look what he says here in the comment. He says, unfortunately, I don't think I can give you my points. That's like giving the answers before the exam. And I said to ex-Muslim atheist Harry Sultan, you're not actually giving me the answers. You're actually giving me a hint to the topic of the stuff that you're discussing, just like a teacher gives to the student goes away, prepares for the exam. In every exam, the teacher gives you a preparation. He tells you that some of the questions that will be on that exam, like the general questions on different topics. So that's what I basically wanted off him so he can be fair, because obviously the time's going to be limited. I've given him ample different topics. It is only fair that he reveals what those topics are so I can prepare for them. And he says, and I said to him, it's only fair that you do this because I'll be on the defensive. He says, well, you can present your arguments on why Islam is true religion. You don't have to rebut everything I say. And I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. I want to be in the defensive. I don't need to bring up points how Islam is true. My objective is to prove respond to your criticism against Islam. And I said to him, look, you're being dishonest. You're being dishonest for not revealing what those topics are. And he laughs and he says, how is that dishonesty? It's a standard procedure, buddy. If you are confident with your knowledge and your faith, you should be able to defend it. I'm not asking he says, I'm not asking you what your points are going to be. Notice this, folks. If this guy was confident in what he believed was true, he would reveal them, wouldn't he? He would reveal them too. If he's accusing me of not being confident, then he himself is unconfident for not revealing the topics. Why is he keeping it a secret? And I said to him, this is what you don't want Muslims to do. You don't want Muslims to be prepared in a debate so you can catch him off guard. That's dishonesty. You can bring hundreds of points on different points, and I'm allowing you to do that. You can go from topic to topic within Islam, but you can't give me the topics so I can prepare for it. See, I don't get fooled like all the other apologists you debate with. And look what he says. He says, this is a standard procedure, buddy. He says, and this is what he says, Harry Sultan, he says, I'm debating with Nadir, he's talking about Nadir Ahmed, who is a Muslim apologist. He hasn't asked me what his points are going to be. And he says, you're basically asking me to give you my answers. No, I'm not. You're not going to. I'm not asking you to give me your answers and your whole critique. All I'm asking you is a topic. Let's say you want to discuss, I don't know, how the Prophet Muhammad took captives of war. He raided caravans. That's it. You're going to discuss that, and then you'll bring up all the hadiths and criticisms against it. That's all. I'm not asking for that. I'm just asking you for the general topic headline. That's it. I'm not asking you for the details within there. I'm only asking what the topic of the discussion is. Then, I don't know, I could prepare for that, and then you could bring up, you may think that the Quran made an error mentioning the Big Bang Theory. That's it. That's all you have to tell me. And then I'll go ahead and prepare all my notes regarding that topic. But see, he doesn't want me to do that. He does not want me to do that. Well, he says, well, at least he is brave. He's talking about Nadir Ahmed. Enough. He goes, enough of this. He goes, meet me in the battlefield. He says, I'm offering you a debate as well, but you want answers in advance. Again, I don't want answers in advance. I never asked you to give me your answers in advance. I asked you to give me the topic of discussion. And then he calls me, that's pathetic, Mustafa. I said, yes. You want to meet an opponent on the battlefield by telling him to leave his weapons at home. You are absolutely disgusting and a coward. I'm sorry, I don't know how else I could put it. This man claims he's honest. He has honest criticisms about Islam, yet he doesn't want a Muslim to prepare for the debate. And like I said, ex-Muslims will never wish to join a discussion when they're up against a Muslim with the best preparation. Their objective is to catch you off guard by flooding the topic with many topics within topics. This is done in order to confuse the Muslim in order to win a debate. And that's why these ex-Muslims like debating people like Nadir Ahmed. Nadir Ahmed doesn't even prepare for his debates. He just basically says, okay, what's the topic? It's a complete open field, and that's it. The ex-Muslim can continuously keep catching Nadir Ahmed off guard. And then Nadir Ahmed has to then, what does he do? He actually emails Abdullah Samir telling him he made a mistake on a particular surah and that he needed further investigation. But you know what? That's all done and dusted. People have already watched the debate and gone, oh, well, Nader Ahmed has lost the debate. Why? Because these silly Muslims go into debates where there is open field, the topic is not allowed to be understood, and they're not allowed to be given ample time to prepare for it, to investigate it, and then return back for a second episode. No, it's done and dusted there. So this is why I refuse to debate and engage ex-Muslims or atheists or Christian critics of Islam who want to say, okay, come on, we're just going to give you a general topic, and the general topic is, yes, is Islam true, or and so forth, and then they're going to come to the debate with all these different points, and the Muslim is not allowed to prepare for it. Really convenient. Harry Sultan replies back and he says, and I gave him one last chance. I said to him, look, if you're not going to reveal the topics within the topics, then I'll give you one more condition. That is, you're only allowed to debate one topic only. That is of course, that topic is, and he writes back and he says, we already know the topic, is Islam a false religion? But that's a general topic. There are topics within that topic, right? You could bring up 100, like I said, you could bring up the issues on the morality of the Prophet. You can bring up science in the Quran. I'm not going to sit in that debate with an encyclopedia of information behind me, and I'm not claiming I have everything stored within my memory. So that information, I'm not going to have a whole encyclopedia sitting there, and then I'm going to just go from page number to page number, There is no way I could go through such a broad topic such as, is Islam a false religion? And then you're going to bring up 100 different points from 100 different subtitle topics, right? See, for example, he could say, let's talk about science. Okay, he's going to bring up science. Okay, let's talk about the Prophet Muhammad's way. Okay, let's talk about science in the Quran. Okay, let's talk about terrorism. I've got to get all my artifacts ready. Many points have got broader topics and need broader research, and I won't have all of that information in front of me, unless of course you reveal each point so I can prepare for it. That's all I'm asking. But they don't want you to do that. So I'll type. So he asks me, he says, okay, let's pick one topic. He says, is Islam a false religion? But he's going back. And I said, is that according to hadith, or according to the Quran, or according to science, or according to moral values? Again, I need to prepare for it. If you're going to attack Islam as a false religion using the Quran, then I'm going to have to prepare what you claim the Quran says. So if you claim that the Quran says that Islam is false because, the Quran says, for example, that you should take slaves, then you need to reveal that. So then I can bring up all the hadith and all the narrations and prepare for that to show you that no, that Islam does not believe in the type of slavery that you persist. And so therefore, that gives me preparation to debate the topic. I'm not going to say to you, okay, sit around, let me just Google 100 different types of hadith, collect them in one information. Hey, okay, if he brings up the slavery topic, then I can give that to you. But you need to give me time to actually prepare for those particular points. But if you're not going to reveal them, then how am I supposed to prepare for it? You want me to sit there and tell you, hey, look, I haven't prepared for it. Then all your atheist friends are going to laugh and say, well, why did this clown enter a debate when the debate was not, the topic was not explicitly explained? Because when you say Islam is a false religion, that's a broad topic. You could bring up anything within that topic. So this is why they don't want to debate a Muslim that is smart about going forward on a live debate and discussing the issue. But the atheist, the ex-Muslim, does not wish for you to be prepared.